Hey guys, what's up and welcome to iCode. In this video, we're going to see how to pass data between view controllers using segues. So let's get started. So open up Xcode and create a new project. So go to Xcode, go to File, New Project. So New Project, and we're going to be working with single view application. So tap on Next and let me just name this pass data. So pass data. Tap on Next and save this on desktop. There you go. And now our project is created. Now quickly jump over to main.Storyboard and let me just pinch my trackpad so that I could just zoom out this view controller, and there you go. So now let me just quickly drag in a text field, a label and a button onto my view controller. So where is the text field made? So text field. So let me just drag in and put it somewhere here. So a text field, let me just drag in so that it could fit the width of the view controller, and similarly a button and a label. So button and a label. So let me just put the button right here and a label made. So label, and let me just drag it and put it right here, and let me just resize this. So let me just resize, and similarly let me just set this label alignment to center so that the text appears at the center. So let me just select this alignment as center, and there you go. Now let me just tap on this left pane button so that I could get rid of this particular left pane, and I can get some space to work with two view controllers, and there you go, it has just got disappeared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this view controller, so this particular view controller, and I'm going to press Command D so that I could get a duplicate view controller which has all these elements, that is text field, a button and a label. So let me just type in Command D, and Command D is not working. So what we need to do is you need to type in Command C to copy and Command V to paste this, and there you go, we have got a duplicate view controller which has all these elements. Now we can just pass in data from the first view controller to the second view controller. So now let me just quickly rename all these buttons and etc. Now let's just quickly attach a script to the second view controller so that we could write some code for the second view controller as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to File, New File, and let me just select this Kogo touch class and tap on Next, and now we're going to give this particular file a name, and I'm going to just name this as second view controller. So second view controller, and it's of type UI view controller of course, and the language is Swift. So tap on Next, and let me just tap on Create again, and there you go. So we have got the script for the second view controller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap on this left pane so that I could see all the files in my project. And as you can see here, we have got the second view controller.Swift, and now we need to attach this script to the second view controller. So now quickly jump over to main.Storyboard again, and there you go, and make sure that this particular yellow button is pressed for the second view controller, that is newly created view controller. So tap on this button, and right here in the identity inspector menu, so tap on this identity inspector menu and make sure that the class is of type second view controller. That is the new script that we have created. So that is this particular one, so second view controller. So select this and press enter. So now this particular second view controller is connected to this particular script. Cool. So now, as I told that we are going to pass data with the help of a segue, let me just create a segue. So what I'm going to do is let me just tap on this yellow button and now press Ctrl and drag onto the second view controller, and just leave that particular cursor over there and select this show option so that it will create a segue for us. And as you can see, it has created a segue for us, and there you go, this is the segue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this segue and give it a name, that is identifier. So tap on this attribute inspector, and right here in the identifier section, give it a name, that is give the segue a name. So I'm going to just give it a name called first to second. So first, and press enter, and there you go. Now we have just named this particular segue as first to second. So the identifier for this particular segue is first to second. Got it? Fine. Now let me just tap on this left pane so that I could see all the files, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach all this text field, button and the label to its particular script, to its respective script. So tap on this view controller and tap on this assistant editor so that we could work with both the UI and the script. I'm going to attach this button, text field, and the label to this particular view controller.Swift file. So control drag, and let me just place this right here, and this is nothing but first VC text field. So tap on connect, and similarly let me just connect the button. So control drag and put it right here, and it's of type action. Connection is of type action as it is a button. And now let me just name this something like first to second button tapped. So tap on connect, and there you go. And finally let me just connect the label as well. So control drag first VC label, so first VC label, and there you go. Let me just connect this as well, and we are done. So now what I want to do is, whenever I press this particular button, that is send data to second VC, I want this particular segue to work. Basically what I'm saying is, whenever you press this button, it goes to the second view controller, that is the segue comes into action. So how do we do that? So let me just show you how to do it. So inside this first to second button, you need to perform seg. So you need to say perform. So perform seg, and there you go, this is the one. So perform seg with identifier. So the identifier that we have given for this segue is, let me just check that again. So make sure that the segue is selected, and if you go to the identifier, it is first to second. So just copy this, so command C, and let me just come back to this particular with identifier, and let me just place this as a string. And the sender is of course self, that is this particular view controller. So self, and there we go. So now let me just quickly run this on iPhone 7. But before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of this script. So command enter. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag this up right here, and let me just rename this label so that we can just differentiate the first view controller from the second view controller. So let me just double tap on this, and let me just rename this as first view controller. So first VC, and this as second VC. And now let me just quickly run this on iPhone 7. So tap on the run button and see if the segue is actually working or not. And there you go, our app is up and running. And if you tap on this button, so we are on the first view controller. If you tap on this particular button, you can see that our segue is working and we are on second view controller right now. So let me just minimize this, and now my idea is, whenever you type some text in this particular text field, I want that text to appear as label for this second view controller. Well, let me just say that again. I'm going to type some text in this particular text field, that is the text field of first view controller, and I want that particular text to be appeared as a label for the second view controller. So basically we are passing data from the first view controller to the second view controller. So let me just show you how to do it using the segue. Quickly navigate to the view controller.swift file. So to pass data from the first view controller to the second view controller using segue, we're going to use a function called prepare for seg. So we're going to say prepare for seg, and there you go, we have got that particular function. Thanks Xcode for helping us out. So now we're going to use this particular function to send data to the second view controller. But before that, let me just also attach all the text field, button, and the label of the second view controller to that particular script of the second view controller. So let me just go to the main.storyboard and tap on this second view controller and connect all the UI elements to that particular script. So let me just tap on this assistant editor and tap on this left pane, so to get some space to work with. Now quickly just control drag, and let me just name this second VC text field and tap connect, and similarly for the button as well as the label. So control drag, and the connection is of type action, and let me just name this send data to first VC. So first VC, and tap on connect. And finally for the label, so control drag, second VC label, and there you go, just tap on connect. Now quickly jump back over to the view controller.swift file. So view controller.swift file. So now what is our basic idea? We want text in the text field of our first VC to appear as label of the second VC. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get all the elements in the second VC to the first VC, and let me just show you how. So first I'm going to create a view controller right here. So let destination view controller, so destination VC is equal to seg.destination and we're going to say that this particular segue.Destination is going to be second view controller. So we're going to just say as second VC, that is second view controller. So now we basically created a destination VC in the following way. So let me just tap on this red button so that we could see what is the error. So it wants us to force unwrap it. So let me just tap on it so that it could force unwrap that. Now quickly jump back over to that particular second view controller.Swift, and here right here I'm going to just create a global variable of type string. So let me just create that variable. So variable text for the label. So text for label, and let me just initialize it with an empty string. And now quickly jump back over to view controller.Swift file, as now we have created a variable for the destination view controller, and that is of type second view controller. We can actually access all the elements and the global variables in the second view controller. So if you go to second view controller.Swift file, you can actually access this particular global variable as well as all these elements from the first view controller, as we have just defined this particular destination VC as segue.Destination as second view controller. Got it? And let me just show you how to just access that. Now what we want is, we want to just set destination VC dot, and here you can see that we have got that particular variable, that is the global variable that we have defined in that particular second view controller.Swift file, and also the other elements as second VC label, second VC text field, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select this text for label, enter, and now we want this particular destination VC dot text for label is equal to first VC text field dot text. So basically we are setting text for label, that is a global variable of this particular second view controller.Swift file, is equal to first VC text field dot text. So now whatever the text that we are going to type in that text field in our first VC, it's gonna assign that particular text to the global variable, that is text for label, in the second view controller.Swift file. So let me just tap on this button, and it wants us to force unwrap that. So let me just say okay. Let me just say that again. So basically this particular prepare for seg function execute all the code inside it whenever we perform segue, and it does all that execution just before the segue is performed. So here we said that whatever the text that is inside the text field of the first view controller, we want that particular text to be assigned to the variable of the second view controller, that is text for label. Got it? Fine. Now quickly jump over to second view controller.Swift. So finally we got some text for this text label from this particular function right here. Okay, so the text in the text field of the first view controller is the text for this particular text for label. Got it? So now just go to the second view controller.Swift. So now here we know that there will be some text just before the execution of that seg, right? And we want that particular text for label to the text for this particular second label. And that is the way that we pass data from the first view controller to the second view controller using segue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of this comment, and inside this view.didLoad function I'm going to say second VC label will be equals to second VC label dot text will be equal to text for label, and we are done. This is how you pass data from the first view controller to second view controller using segue. So let us check that out, if that particular app is now working or not. Are we successfully passing data from the first view controller to second view controller or not? So let me just run this app and see if that is working. So our app is up and running. Now let me just type in something in this text field. So iCode, and tap on this button and see if that is working. So finger crossed. And there you go. Our app is actually working. We are successfully passing the data from the first view controller to the second view controller using segue. And this is how you do it. Great. Now you may be thinking something like this. If you want to send the data from the second VC to the first VC, that is second view controller to the first view controller, you may be thinking like, I can use the same method to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller, right? But it's actually wrong. It's not efficient. And let me just show you why. Why it's wrong to use the same method to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller. So let me just minimize this and do the same thing for the second view controller in the fast forward manner. So now let me just go to view controller.Swift file, and now let me just create a global variable. So var text for label, so text for label, and let me just assign it with an empty string and go. And now quickly jump over to main.Storyboard so that I could create another segue from second view controller to the first view controller. So tap on this yellow button and drag it to the first view controller. Tap on this segue and give it a name, that is identifier name, and I'm going to just say that this is second to first. That's it. And I'm going to just copy this, so command C. And now quickly jump over to second view controller.Swift, and now we are going to write some code for the button. I've done all this for the first view controller, and I'm just doing the same thing again for the second view controller. If you're getting bored, just skip this by a couple of minutes and just see why is it a bad idea to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller using the same method, that is the segue method. And now coming back, I'm going to just say perform seg. So perform seg with identifier. I've just copied, so I'm going to just paste that here, second to first, and the sender is self. And also I'm going to create another function called prepare for seg. So prepare for seg, and there you go. And here I'm going to create a destination VC. So let destination view controller is equal to seg dot destination as first view controller, that is view controller. And now we can access all the global variables and elements for that particular first VC. And now it wants us to force unwrap that. Okay, fine. And now we're going to just say that destination VC dot text for label. So text for label, which is equal to, so second VC text field dot text. Fine. So whenever the seg is performed, there will be some value here for this particular global variable, and we want this particular value to be appeared as labels. So what we need to do is, you just need to say that right here in the view did load function. So let me just get rid of this comment and say first VC label dot text is equal to text for label. And let me just run that again. And now let me just quickly type in icode1. So icode1, tap on this button. As you can see, it is working. And if you type in icode2 right here and tap on send data to first VC button, you can see that we are successfully passing the data from the second view controller to the first view controller. Now you may ask, why did you say it's actually wrong to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller? What's wrong with that? We are successfully passing the data. We are successfully sending the data from the second view controller to the first view controller. And here is why it is not an efficient way. So what I'm going to do is quickly jump back over to the main.Storyboard, and let me just add a button. So button, let me just drag that and put it right here, and let me just rename this as change color. So change color, and there you go. And attach this particular button to the script, not this one. Go to manual automatic view controller.Swift file, and let me just get rid of this pane, and there you go. Let me just drag this up. So control drag, change color button. So change color button, and the connection is of type action. So tap on connect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color to blue whenever this particular button is tapped. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say view dot background color is equal to dot blue. Fine. Now let us just run that. So tap on run button, and now let me just type in some text right here. So icode1. Before tapping this particular button, I'm going to tap on this particular change color button. So tap on that, and now here you can see that our background color is changed to blue. And now I'm going to tap on this particular button, that is send data to second VC. And here you can see that we are successfully passing the data from the first view controller to the second view controller, as we have done already. So now let me just type in some text in this particular text field, icode2. And here is where you need to just observe what's happening. I'm going to just tap on this particular button, that is send data to first VC and see what happens. So tap on it, and of course it's working. We have got that particular data from the second view controller to the first view controller, but where is that blue color? We did set our background color to blue before passing data from the first view controller to the second view controller. But now, where is that blue color? So this is what that is happening. Whenever you pass data from the first view controller to second view controller using a segue, a new view controller is being created. So whenever you execute a segue, a view controller is being created, and that is why you can't see the blue color right here that we did set. It's somewhere behind this particular view controller, because this particular view controller that we are looking here is a new view controller that is created because we have executed a segue. So basically when you execute a segue, there is a new view controller that will be created, and that is the reason it is wrong or inefficient to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller using this particular segue method. So guys, don't use this particular method to pass data from the second view controller to the first view controller, because I am going to explain a new method using delegates, and it is a lot efficient compared to this particular stacking up process. So I'm going to explain that in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back with that delegate method video. So till then, goodbye.